All right, folks. So when you guys, why buy from Dog Knives? That's my little sales pitch. Why? Okay, I'm going to tell you why. All right, everybody says the first thing they say to themselves, well, why should I buy from Dog Knives? It's like, okay, for instance, I just sold three knives the other day ago. One of them was the Smith and Wesson Fisherman, and I think I sold this one for 165, which is a fantastic deal. I just lowered the price, and an hour later I sold it. Uh, One here is a PH1 and a PH2. Sold them as a set, and this is to a guy in Australia. If I'm shipping to Australia or to a country like Canada or whatever, just give me a call. I usually just raise the shipping price by $2 or $3. Like to Canada, it costs me just a little bit more, and I have to make a special trip down to the post office to ship it off. So, it's just gas money and trouble, so I got to charge a little bit extra. No big deal. It's just a couple bucks, dog. So I'm just sending it out. But these are beautiful knives. But I want to show you what I do. And this is the difference between buying a knife from a store, eBay, or whatever. And some eBay stores do this, but in general they don't. And I'm going to tell you, when you buy something from eBay or when you buy something from a knife store, you're buying something that comes in a box that they haven't even opened. Okay? Okay? They pick it up and they mail it to you. They have no clue. Okay? The last QA that was done on this box or this knife that was inside of here was done by the knife company. Okay? Now, when I ship something off, that's my name on the box. This is Dog Knives. All right? This is my reputation. Okay? Before I ship anything off to anybody, I clean it up. I make sure it looks good. If I find any discrepancies on it, I've already inspected the knives before I even put them on my website. But even a second time before I send them out, I inspect them and clean them again. Because gosh knows, maybe my daughter got a hold of them, or maybe, I don't know, maybe a termite got in the handle. I don't know. This is my reputation. This is my store. I want it to have a good. I want myself to have good feedback. I want my customers to be happy. And when you come to my store, you're getting a collector knife. You're getting a knife that's of collector quality. Okay? And something I don't do. I want you to look at something. Okay, you see that little bit of green right there? Okay, some people would say, well, why don't you clean that off? Now, if I was selling that knife, I'd shine that up, make it look all brand new. Well, I'm going to tell you why I don't clean that off. Okay, if you want that all cleaned off, okay, you can also take that nice made in USA off and go get yourself a Schrade that's made in China for about 30 bucks. Okay, and once it doesn't get sharp anymore, all right, and the knife maybe breaks off when you're actually using it, okay, and it's made like crap, okay, you can get these Schrades now made in China, and I've even seen videos of these people that sell these knives on eBay and YouTube or whatever, and they'll compare the USA models compared to the China ones, and they'll say there's no difference between the two, and they'll resharpen them and all this kind of stuff. There's a big difference, buddy. Okay? Big difference. These are hefty, beautiful knives, full tang. All right? The guy in Australia that got these is getting two knives that are going to last him the rest of his life. And this PH1 is just gorgeous. Comes with a leather lanyard, beautiful leather sheaths. All I do is I take Barbasol, which is basically mineral oil, and it also has a leather preserver in it. I try not to get it on the leather sheath unless the leather sheath is extremely dirty, which some of them are, and I have to clean them off. And unlike mineral oil, it's less oily, and it does have a little bit of a cleaning agent in it. So it basically stops any corrosion in its tracks, but it does not remove the patina, which is so important to collectors. Okay, so it will maintain that green look, that hazy, faded look that a lot of collectors need. that brownish look took 30 years to make. I'm not cleaning it off. Now, if the buyer wants to buff that out, he can go right ahead and do that. I wouldn't recommend it because to me, that's what makes this knife so special. Okay? God, it's a beautiful knife. Tell you what, if I was richer, I'd keep it myself. Okay? Well, here is a nice beauty. This is the Fisherman. And this was a series, and I still have the Ranger up for sale. And the Ranger is going to go up on my site. And gosh, this knife is just gorgeous. And this individual, he collects the whole series of the Smith & Wesson. And here's another one. I didn't clean off the patina. Now, if he wants to buff it out, he can do whatever he wants with it. And I'm pretty sure as a collector, he will be mighty happy that I didn't buff that out. Now, if he wants to buff it out, he can go right ahead and do that. Absolutely no corrosion on this blade. Never been sharpened. Absolutely perfect in every way. Alright, so before I box these knives up, what I'll do is, because I'm going to try to ship them off today. I do believe the post office is closed today, though. Even though it's Monday. I guess they're celebrating a holiday that was on Sunday. Weird. So what I'll do is I'll just spray it down one last time to get all my fingerprints off. I'm going to wipe it down. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, that's a beautiful knife. This guy got a hell of a deal on this knife. I'm very happy to oblige a fellow collector. I'm very lucky that and it comes with all the paperwork, comes with a full 1-year warranty. I guess that's no good anymore because, yeah, the knife is a good 30 years old. Talks about the collector series. Has your sheath. The sheath has a little green in there, but that's because you got the brass. You know, haven't really messed with the sheath very much. And I try not to mess with sheaths because sheaths, buttons go bad on sheaths, all kinds of stuff. So as a 30-year-old sheath, I try not to mess with them too much because you can break these things. As a collector, you want to be really careful with the old sheaths. And that's just my recommendation to other fellow collectors. Always want to be careful with those. Unfortunately, the sheaths are the first thing that go when it comes to old knives. And then I'm going to maybe put that like so. Boy, that's beautiful. Woo! What a lucky guy. I'm going to wrap this like so. Okay, buddy, don't cut yourself opening this up, okay? So everything's nice and separated. No oil would get in contact with your leather sheath. If he wants to wipe down the sheath, he can do whatever he wants with it, you know? Comes with a beautiful box. If the boxes are in bad condition, I'll note that. You know, I'll tell you guys about that. But in general, I mean, you know, it's not a perfect box. But it's for a 30-year-old knife, it's in relatively good condition. All right, now these knives are going off to Australia, so they're going to be taking a long trip. Same thing, I will spray these knives and inspect them one last time. The Fisherman I already inspected off camera. But I'll give these knives a good look over, make sure there's no nicks in the blade. And if I do find a nick, I will email the individual and tell him that I did. And I'll ask him if he still wants it. I have found discrepancies in knives. And sometimes they'll say, you know, hey, well, I'm going to use the knife anyway. I mean, you mind just sharpening it for me and just knocking $10 off of it? And I'll say, yeah, sure. And I'll do that. I'll refund $10 of their money off the PayPal, and we'll call it even. Now, since this has a leather lanyard on it, I'm not going to get oil on this. Okay? You got to always think about what you're doing to a person's product, because there's people out there that are as anal as I am about their knives. Okay, so I have not removed any patina off these collector quality knives. Absolutely beautiful. Woo! That PH1 is gorgeous. God. Tell you what, I wish I could keep this. Okay. They come with most of the paperwork. The PH1 actually doesn't have all the paperwork, but the PH2 comes with what paperwork they did. The Schrades generally didn't come with very much paperwork. But look at these sheaths the Schrades came with. I really like their molded sheaths. Where's the camera? Woohoo. There we go. Look at that. Gorgeous. Really nice sheaths. Nice and thick and beautiful. Really nice. It's got that double spot in there so you don't slide in there and cut your stitching. A lot of cheap knives do that. I mean, this is a sheath that'll last you the rest of your life. Whoops, sorry about that. It's carpet, don't worry. No scuff marks. So that's going to go off to Australia. So when you order a knife from Dog Knives, that's what you get. So what does the knife factory look like today? Let me see here. Got knives everywhere. Got knives all over the floor and all kinds of stuff. Got knives behind me too. We got just knives everywhere. And eventually, once a lot of these fixed blades get purged, we will be going to a lot of my folders. All right, one more thing. When you order something, I mean, actually, when you're on my website, you're going to see these. And I've got these for a great price. You guys are blowing it. These are made by Fisker. They say Normark, and if anybody knows anything about these knives, you're blowing it if you're not jumping on them. These are some of the nice fillet knives you can ever get, and they are priced at a hell of a good price. So, and I didn't really finish my eBay pitch. Really quick, I do the research on all these knives. So, for instance, a lot of people will say, "Well, I can get this on eBay. I've seen these sell good on eBay." Well, I'll go through the history of eBay, and what I'll do is I'll basically hit it right in the middle. All right? So you're looking at a price that's better than your average. All right? So you can start bidding on a PH1 if you want, but once you get sucked into the bidding war, you're going to end up paying more than what I'm charging. And not only that, is you're probably going to get somebody else's garbage that they didn't want for their collection. Okay? So that's what I'm telling you. You're going to get a great product at a fair price from me. Okay? And you're not going to get sucked into a bidding war and end up paying more than you should. So just something to think about. I'm going to leave you with that thought. Y'all take it easy and visit the store. I'm taking a few pictures today and putting a few knives in there. And that's all I got. Y'all take it easy.